I want to bring in the newest member of the NewsNation family, known to me as the Bus, which I'm sure she loves, Batya Ungar-Sargon.
I do love it,
the
Chris.
Bus was
I
also
do
my
love
favorite
it.
running back of all time. But, you know, you don't look like a bus. You don't sound like a bus. You don't think like a bus. You check every box of what will be successful on cable television, and I wish you well.
Thank you so much for having me. I do love it when you call me that, though, so keep doing it.
All right, so talk to me. Your new show begins September 20, all right? Let's discuss. I was reading some of what you put out. That to me, I want you to explain what your take is on this. Forget what it means to me. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. Where are you on this? You put out a very strong statement.
So I heard everything you said, Chris, and I was feeling it deeply. I'm a common ground person as well. But I think it's really important for people to understand why people on the right got so upset by the Democrats' response. What happened was a person who seems to be a trans person murdered praying Catholics. And the Democrats' response was to rush to attack prayer and then defend the trans community. So there was a reversal of the victim and the perpetrator, which, by the way, was exactly what the shooter had written on his guns. He wrote, "Where is your God?" And that was what a lot of people on the right heard when Democrat after Democrat after Democrat came out and said, prayers are not enough. Those children were literally praying. They associated the victims of this horrific act with their political enemies and ran to the defense of who they thought the killer was and the community they believed he came from, so much so that they wouldn't even identify him as trans because they didn't want to besmirch what they view as a protected category. And this is unbelievably hurtful and offensive and pathological, Chris, especially in a moment when a community is mourning.
Okay. One, some, not all right? We'll agree on that. Two, prayers aren't enough. I'm not anti-prayer, but you know why you pray, and I know why I pray. You probably pray for more for other people. Here's what I pray. Thank you. Thank you for the mercy of your grace of forgiveness. Thank you. Help me. Help me do better. Help me be better. Help me. Help me. The prayer without the intentionality of purpose is nothing. You know it in your faith. You know I am mishpucha and how much I care for and respect Judaism and the Zionist cause. And as a raised Catholic, prayer alone is nothing. You walk out of Mass, you walk out of synagogue, and you do nothing different in pursuit of what you were just praying with, you're a hypocrite. And every holy book would say the same on monotheism. That's the point. It's that you stop at thoughts and prayers as if somehow that's enough. That's what I think. Now, the trans thing, I would flip the other way, Batya. I don't care that the killer is trans. The fact that they were trans and self-hating about trans, that's something to talk about. NewsNation is the only entity that's ever reported on it in a special way about detransitioning. But I don't see any lefties putting out the numbers about how many trans mass shooters there have been and whether this is an issue that we have to take up. That's pretty dirty politics, too, is it not?
What Brian Enton just revealed is so unbelievably important, and you're so right. It's the exact kind of nuance that you really only find on NewsNation. He reported to us by translating a piece of that diary that the killer was trans but regretted it. Now, what we learned from this is that this is a deeply evil, deeply, deeply sick person who was mentally ill for a long time and whose mental illness got coded as transgenderism by perhaps people who were trying to help him, including his mother. Now, I don't know. I am not a psychiatrist. I don't understand the link between transgenderism, and mental illness. It's obviously very complex. But you know what, Chris? No one is looking into this because they are a protected category, because the Democrats have assigned them the status, and therefore you're not even allowed to ask these questions. So no medical institutions are even looking into it. And that is very problematic. And that, by the way, Chris, is radicalizing to people on the right when they feel that they cannot say things that they can see with their own eyes. That is radicalizing because that makes people believe conspiracy theories like the one you keep pointing out about the 4 versus the 4,000.
Well, look, Batya, there's one thing between a critical thinker like you who has a problem with the chilling effect on suggestion, okay? And of course, we're not in appease mode, we're in oppose mode here. We oppose ideas. That's what we do, and we conflict with them, and that's what we do. We agree to disagree, we disagree with decency, but we're here to oppose ideas, not to appease people who have ideas. And yet, you can be trans and not sick, and you can be trans and sick. And should they research it? Should you ask the questions? All day long. Am I afraid of trans people? Hell no, I'm not afraid of trans people. I'm afraid of mentally ill people who are extreme and violent. And I'm afraid of all extreme people. Mentally ill people? No, I'm not afraid of them. Statistically more likely to be victims than assailants. But we've got to do better. Everybody knows it. But at the end of the day, Batya, the two sides care about the argument, not the outcome. That's why I'm looking forward to your show. You are smart, you are convicted, and you are concerned. And I think you're going to do very well. And I will call you the boss until the bosses tell me to stop.
Thank you very much, Chris. And I do have to admit, I was very humbled by your opening. It really made me think about my positions and was I being fair enough to the other side? So thank you for that.
Batya, I listen to you all the time. Now, I'm usually, hearing where you're coming from, especially about the Middle East. But we got to be open to what we disagree with. That's how we get better. Take care, my friend, and good luck. Thank you for being with me tonight.
God bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I need it. I need it, Bus. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.